Welcome to Binge. I'm Harry Judd, and good news, Alex is back.
I am, Harry. It's nice to be back.
You feeling better?
Voice is not 100% there, but we get in there slowly.
It'll do. Right, this week, loads packed into this episode. It's Valentine's Day coming up. We talk about what we get up to on Valentine's Day, or what we don't get up to.
Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, is out in time for Valentine's Day.
It is, and you went to the screening, and you have a hilarious story, which I can't wait to hear.
Oh, well, you've been watching Veep, which was a recommendation from Elizabeth Day from a few weeks ago. And we have both agreed that there's a new dark comedy on Netflix called Mo that we both like. It's got a 100% Rotten Tomatoes score.
And we have a fantastic guest, the adrenaline-fueled Gaby Roslin. She doesn't just come with TV, podcast, book recommendations. She comes with holiday recommendations too.
Yeah, a good activity for half term. That's just coming up.
Alex, how are you?
Well, I was so worried last week because it was brilliant with you and Danny. And I thought, oh no, they don't need me anymore. But no, gosh, I was floored by this flu.
Yeah, Danny's too busy, unfortunately. He could only do one episode, so
oh, fine.
You're safe.
That
don't
works
worry.
well then.
Yeah, you're fine.
But no, he was brilliant. And thank you very much to Danny for standing in. But I literally didn't have any voice. And that was kind of the tail end. That was after the high temperature and all of it.
How did your family cope without the voice of the mother in
Not
the house?
well.
Not well, no.
No. But Charlie's like, this is amazing. Mum, I can't shout. Look. And I was at the top of the stairs going, come and change. Will you come upstairs and change? It was, yeah. But it was the first time I've been off in 12 years. It was a funny old thing, but I'm glad to be back. How have you been?
Yeah, pretty good. I'm in full health, thank you.
How's the marathon training?
Marathon training's good, yeah, very good. Although I did cross the line this week, Al. I went and visited my 88-year-old grandmother.
Oh, good. Good.
And it was lovely to see her. Although I found myself talking about marathon training within about half an hour.
To your grandmother?
Yeah.
Was she interested?
No. And her carer was there. And I was sat at the table talking to her about interval training, and I just thought, Harry, you've crossed the line here.
You've become that running ball.
No, I was already a running ball, but I've entered a new realm of running ball. Went climbing, took the boys climbing.
Yeah, now this is such a good activity, isn't it, for young boys
So
and young
good.
girls, to be
Yeah,
fair.
well, I took Lola as well, eventually on the weekend.
Did she like it?
She loved it. She absolutely loved it. I took Lockie, he's only 3, and it's brilliant. It's bouldering, so they don't need any ropes or clipping in, so none of that faff. I just had to do an hour's kind of test and have an exam at the end so that if I passed, I could be an official supervisor. So I can now take the kids myself without having to pay for like a private lesson. And we've been going 2-3 times a week.
It's
Absolutely
great,
love
isn't it?
Yeah, and I have 2 very active boys, so I can definitely recommend bouldering or climbing for anyone out there who is, got young children who need to burn some energy.
It's very strenuous, isn't it?
It
and
is.
Because you have to use your brain as well,
Yes.
you're mentally tired after it
Yes,
as well,
exactly.
which is perfect.
Oh, and on one of my runs this week with my running mate, he reminded me it's Valentine's week.
Oh my gosh, Friday.
Yeah.
Oh.
He said, what are you doing for Valentine's? I was like,
No.
nothing.
We never go out
No.
on Valentine's Day, do you?
No, God, no. I try and do flowers, though. I do flowers for Izzy and Lola.
Charlie does flowers, to be fair.
Yeah, and Izzy does just a little card, so...
Yeah, and I make ones for the boys with a question mark.
Yeah, sweet.
And they like, what's this? They don't know what Valentine's Day is. No, but it's
no,
lovely.
we don't go in.
Do you know what we do? This is classic middle age now.
What?
Either M&S or Waitrose meal for 2. Okay, we have got a brilliant guest today. One of the most joyful people on the planet.
Yeah, she's an icon of what would you say, broadcasting?
An icon of broadcasting. Gaby Roslin will be giving us her recommendations, which will be an absolute thrill. But before then, you've been watching Veep based on Elizabeth Day's recommendation.
I have, yes. So our brilliant guest from a couple of weeks ago, Elizabeth Day, said her comfort watch, I think she might have chosen this for her... Desert Island Binge. And so I'd watched one episode about 2 years ago, and I enjoyed it, but because I had to pay for it, I was like, yeah, I'm going to move on. So I went back to it. I've paid for season 1, I finished it, and I just paid for season 2 last night. And I've made a start, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Well, listeners, if Harry Judd is paying for it, that is a solid recommendation. So go on then. It's the American version, isn't it, of The Thick of It?
I guess
I was going to say The Office.
Is it? I didn't know that. Is it based?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, so it's based on the vice president. Her name is Senator Selina Meyer. She's the vice president. It's based around her in her office with her staff. So kind of her press secretary, her actual secretary, her assistant. And it's just absolutely brilliant. It's fast-paced comedy. It sort of delves into her personal and professional life. And obviously, as you can imagine, each episode, something's going wrong to a very funny result. Brilliantly written, kind of subtle bits of humour. It's, as I said, it's quite fast-paced. So you have to kind of...
Listen
and be into that type of humour.
Would I benefit from subtitles with this one, like I did with Succession?
No, I think it'd be too much to take in, listening and reading. So no, you just got to be focused. But look, it's not like major highbrow. It's just for me, it's like the level above of comedy, above your sort of, I don't know, like How I Met Your Mothers and that sort of thing. Was it Parks and Recreation? It's, for me, it's like the tier above. It's very well written. Brilliantly acted, brilliant characters. And also, I'm finding it quite a sort of comfort watch. There's, for some reason, although, as you know, I'm not an intellect, there's something about politics, and it doesn't delve too much into politics, but something about politics I find just kind of really interesting and comforting, and I've been finding myself falling asleep during the episode, so it's giving me a bit of that the rest is politics kind of melatonin kick. I don't know why. Okay,
good. You've lent into this... political drama, political podcast.
Yeah, well,
political everything.
Yeah, well, I still don't understand anything about politics, though. But as you know, I love the thick of it. West Wing's amazing. It's a bit like West Wing, but a comedy version of.
Okay, well, it's won a heap of awards, and lots of people like it. So
yeah, nice.
Okay.
What have you been watching? Oh, you've seen the new Bridget Jones film.
Oh, Harry, honestly. I was so cross that I wasn't here last week because I was just desperate to tell you about it.
But you couldn't talk, literally.
I couldn't talk. I had no voice. But the original Bridget Jones obviously was out something nuts like 25 years ago, I'm going to say. And the original Bridge, you can't mess with that. It's a classic.
Yeah, amazing.
It's why we all fell in love with her. But now Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy, is out this week. And lots of people, so I'll set the scene. It was a screening, at Working Title, which is the company that made it.
Yeah.
And it was packed. Yeah. And in true Joan style, I was late. And the girl from work who was coming with me had waited, Louise, bless her. And we crept into this packed room, right? And I literally crept across the front with my shadow massive on the screen.
Oh my God, had it started?
It had started.
So you were literally doing what Bridget Jones would have done at a screening.
Then there was a big row of journalists sitting in the front, and they'd taken like a picnic as it was around lunchtime. And I put my hand on her prawn sandwich and it just squished everywhere, right? And all I could hear was Greg, James and Fern, who were up the back, laughing their heads off.
Were you crawling?
Yeah, crawling.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, sat down, and it was the first day, I think, of the flu starting to hit. So I was really shivery, so I had like many coats on. But despite that, I laughed, oh my God, hysterically, cried. It was everything you wanted from Bridget Jones. It was, for me, the best one out of all of them. I mean, you can't mess with the first one, obviously.
No.
But it was excellent.
Oh, brilliant. Well, do you know what? We're just talking about Valentine's Day. Maybe this would be a good Valentine's Day date, hence why they probably released it now. But something for both the couple to enjoy.
I think so. I mean, we came out and then Greg was still laughing because he was like, you crawling in was the highlight of that. And he said, God, wasn't that shit? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Did he say that? Did he?
I think, if you're one of those girls who fell in love with Bridget when she first appeared and have kind of, lived with her all these years, you're going to love this.
Well, I was one of those girls, Al, and I'm hoping also to enjoy.
It's definitely worth a watch. Fantastic.
Although I know Greg James also loves Partridge, so we potentially have similar tastes, so maybe I won't like it.
No, I think you would. But, it's a nice one as a couple to watch, I think.
Brilliant. And also, this is quite a rarity. We both have watched the same thing this week.
We have?
Yes, based on a recommendation from one of the top dogs at Viral Tribe, who messaged our WhatsApp group to say that we should watch Mo, which is on Netflix. So I watched episode 1 last night. Did you?
We watched 4 episodes.
4?
Harry's the first thing I've actually binged in my entire life.
What?
Right, Mo.
Yes.
is a Palestinian refugee
He
living
is.
in America.
He is, yes.
And he's basically on the road to getting his US citizenship, isn't he?
That's right.
And I just thought, I didn't know what to expect when we turned it on.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was done with such a light touch.
Yeah.
Really funny, but it really made you think, I thought.
Yeah, there's such realism, wasn't it? Like, you really believe the character, his situation, obviously the culture clash that he still deals with, because his mum is very much still living that culture.
Palestinian life,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And then he's got his brother, who I think I got the impression he's maybe autistic.
Yes.
And so that was an interesting little angle. And then suddenly in the first episode, there's a bit of a shocking moment, isn't there?
There is.
Which
I mean,
don't know
I don't
if
think we should
say.
give it away, but
No.
the thing about this was, I mean, the thing that swayed it for us, it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
And that is so rare, isn't it?
Very rare.
No.
Okay, I think it's time to get our guest on.
Shall we get Gabby in?
Let's do it.
Joining us now is a TV icon, synonymous with many of our childhoods as host of The Big Breakfast. These days, you can catch her brightening up our mornings on Morning Live here on Magic Radio. And you can download her uplifting podcast, Reasons to be Joyful. Please welcome the wonderful Gaby Roslin.
Oh,
how
you make
are
me
you?
Embarrassed. I'm really well. How lovely to see both of you.
We've
Lovely
already
people.
had your influence this morning on us when we were having a quick pre-chat about how miserable the weather is, and you stopped us. You said, no, we're looking for the joy.
Yeah, you do. Well,
And this
yes.
is something you live every day, not just
Absolutely.
for your podcast. Yeah.
And my book, Spread the Joy, is all about that. And it's about, I think, we all are totally aware that the news is very bleak
It's atrocious,
and dark.
isn't it? Yeah.
And people are very worried, and there's a lot of fear around. And also, the weather is really crap, as everybody says. But it is looking for those little things. And I think we forget it as adults. We forget to use our imagination. We forget to jump in a puddle. We forget to smile at people, at strangers. So I do that. I talk to everybody. I drive everybody mad.
There's nobody more perfect on this gloomy day, you see, to come and talk to us too. That's perfect. So does your algorithm, Gabby, throw up things that are joyful, funny comedies?
Always.
What kind of thing do you see then when you're looking for shows?
Always. It's usually people dancing in very strange ways.
Love it.
Or there's many a zip wire, because I am obsessed with zip wiring.
Are you? Do you have a zip wire?
Not my own personal
You
one.
should get one.
I live in a very small Victorian terraced house. Where would I zip wire
From bathroom window down to the garden.
Or maybe from the top out to, I don't know, the tube station or something.
It's good. It's a little way.
Okay.
But I like a big, high
zip wire,
zip.
Is
yes.
this something you look for when you're on holiday, or?
Everywhere.
Gabby,
I love zip
have
wiring.
you been to Zip World?
Yes.
Oh my God, was it amazing?
We went for my birthday last year. My husband, who's scared of heights, and my younger daughter, my elder one, was working, but she's also scared of heights. So I think that's why suddenly she was working the whole time. And my husband went on the underground
Yes.
cave walk, whilst my younger daughter and I zipped on the fastest zip wire. It was fantastic. Even she was like, Mum. I went, yes! It was fantastic.
So where you do the zip line, you can also do bounce below, which is the trampolines in the caves. This is in North Wales.
It is fantastic.
Honestly.
And you can also stay in a little caravan
Yeah.
park nearby, and they have hot tubs. Basically, we were a hot tub in a caravan park. Then we were zip lining all day, and there are 2 sites, so we went to both sites so I could see different zip lines.
I've never met a ziplining enthusiast before.
I love it. We did it
This is a new
in Zimbabwe.
experience.
So we did it over Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe, and I said my husband is scared of heights, but I said, look, this is an amazing experience. It's the most beautiful place on the planet, Victoria Falls. And we zip lined, and my elder daughter as well couldn't do it. She watched us, and it is phenomenal. But my husband, because he was so scared, he got stuck 200 feet up.
No.
Crocodiles below, Victoria Falls in the middle of Africa. And I was saying, my younger daughter saying, Dad, don't look down. And everybody there's so lovely there. And they were saying, come on, sir, just move your head. So he had to pull himself with his gloves because he was so terrified. His body had gone
Stiff.
And I just kept saying, look around. He wasn't being very polite what he was saying back. He was basically saying, shut up. But
It's funny though, because
Look
obviously
around.
your husband's scared of heights, and there you are dragging him literally around the world to go ziplining.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This conversation has gone in a totally different direction.
Are we talking like fast? Like, because I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie. Are we talking you get on the
It is.
zipline?
The one in Wales, I'll happily, well, let's go together. It's really, it's the fastest in Europe.
First recommendation of the episode is ziplining.
Zip World.
Okay.
Yeah, Zip World. We
like it.
normally do TV shows, but
Yeah,
every
no,
now and
no,
again we branch out.
Listen, I can bore you with TV shows because my first love is television. I've wanted to be in television since I was 3, and I always wanted to work in it because I loved it, and I am still obsessed with it.
Okay, well, bore us then. Come on.
I'll bore you.
What are you binging at the moment? What have you
How
been
many do you want? Because I've got a few.
Oh, so many. Let's cram them in.
Okay. So, Rivals. You've done Rivals. Just Dominic Treadwell-Collins, who makes that, used to make EastEnders as well. And EastEnders, I've never missed an episode in 40 years, and it's their 40th anniversary on the 19th of February. And hopefully I'm going to be doing something for the one show
You've
there.
never missed an episode of EastEnders.
Never missed an episode.
Gabby,
In
you must
40
be the only
years?
person on the planet.
And I'm only 33, so I started at -7. I remember watching the very first one. I was actually quite young when that happened. But I absolutely loved it. And I have never missed an episode. And I used to do a show called EastEnders Live, which we did every day from the set of EastEnders.
I remember.
Daytime show. Did that for a couple of years with Ben Shepherd.
Yeah.
Ben was on it with me. I did a question of EastEnders, which was a question. We did a show called A Question of TV, but we did an EastEnders special. And then I did the 10th anniversary, the 20th anniversary.
Wow.
So now the 40th.
Right, what's the last film you saw in the cinema?
Oh, Better Man.
Oh,
Just brilliant. I'm very pleased that Rob has won. You know, it's beginning to win some awards. I think it should have been up for more BAFTAs and Oscars. I really think it was superb. I took my younger daughter. My elder daughter is seeing it today. So there we go,
nice.
coincidentally. But my younger daughter, who said, I don't want to. She came out and she says it's one of the best films that she's ever seen.
I would agree with your daughter.
we both absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I was a bit the same. Don't get me wrong, I really like Robbie, but I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be that fussed about this. And yeah, I mean, when it finished, I just looked around the cinema. We were lucky enough to go to the premiere, and just jaws on the floor.
Yeah.
And came out and
blows
people
you
had
away.
tears in their eyes. It was
I think it's
the most
outstanding.
Did you cry,
incredible
Gabby?
film.
I did. Also, it's no secret that I've known Robbie since he was 16 and we've been friends for years. And it's really weird. I'm welling up now. I don't think I could ever feel quite so proud of an old friend as I do with that film. And I loved the film. But it's interesting seeing that after watching Boy Bands Forever and now the Boyzone one.
Doc, yeah.
Watching those and seeing what Rob went through, it's... Hey, I mean, you know better than anybody, but it's it just puts a lot into perspective.
Yeah.
You mentioned Boyzone. Have you seen that one?
Yes,
Enjoy?
I watched that. I have a lot of opinions on certain people who were in that, but my goodness, because they've all been. So all of them from Take That's very first, I think their first TV show was on Motormouth, which I did, a Saturday morning kids show, and Boyzone were on The Big Breakfast, and Take That did a takeover. You know, all of these bands, and then all of you guys, all of the boy bands. I know you're not a boy band, you're musicians, but all of them, I knew lots of them were unhappy, but I didn't realise how unhappy they really were. And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And Mikey, just what a lovely guy.
Mikey. But it really does lift the lid, doesn't it? On, you know, all of us. I mean, growing up, Boyzone was kind of my era when we were really into boy bands. A little bit before Take That, I think. I probably like Take That a little bit after Boyzone. But you just had no idea what they were going through, did you?
Well, I mean, because I was interviewing them all every week and every
you
day.
had a different perspective on it, I suppose, didn't you?
I got some of it, and they did share that they were exhausted. I think that was the thing. They were exhausted.
The relentlessness, isn't it, of it? Let us turn the corner now then and get some very uplifting documentaries or series, or what can we watch that's going to bring a smile to our face? Because you are the person to recommend.
Okay, well, I've actually got so many. It's really difficult when somebody says, what's your favourite? What's your favourite?
Yeah.
Because I'm one of those people. It's when I started at Magic and all the press was saying, okay, what's your favourite song from the 80s? I can't just give you one.
Yeah.
Too many. Okay, so the new stuff that's out Am I Being Unreasonable? Season 2 is even better than season 1, if that's possible. And I properly binged it. And I'm like you, Alex. I don't binge in one go. This I did, because Daisy May Cooper was on my Saturday show on Magic last week. So I watched 3. And then I thought, I can't not. And I just came back and I sat down and watched all of them. Just genius. What a clever writer.
So this is on iPlayer, isn't it? At the minute, people can see it. Second series is Daisy May Cooper.
She wrote it, she produced it, she stars in it.
Lenny Rush, yeah.
His comic timing, he's brilliant. He's been on my podcast with his family, actually. I just love Lenny.
And can you give us a little synopsis of what this is, in case people are hearing this for the first time?
Okay. I would recommend going back to season 1. You have to see season 1 before this. It's about a woman and her husband and her son and a relationship. I don't want to give anything away because I'd really love people to go in completely without knowing anything.
But you know what? I'm someone, though, because you, to be fair, without a synopsis, you've already sold it to me.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean, because when often describing things, people say, look, just trust me, just watch it, because I won't do it justice. So just watch it.
Well, it goes it time hops.
Yeah.
And I know some people don't like time hop, but it really, really works. And suddenly you'll say, oh, that's why. And then you get these gem moments between, with Lenny Rush and his mum with Daisy May Cooper, and when the two of them have these beautiful scenes together. It is so good. And the girl who plays her friend in it is the person she co-wrote it with. It's so dark. It is so dark.
Okay, I like that.
And it's so funny. And then episode 1 of season 2 has Big Tom in it. And I love Tom. I love him as King Gary.
Yeah,
Tom Davies. Yeah,
and
he's amazing.
Ages ago, I saw Tom and I said, you know what, I'd love you and Daisy May Cooper to do something. It's nothing to do with me at all, but they're both in this in episode 1. Just brilliant.
I saw the little clip of your interview with Daisy on your Magic show, and she talks about Curtin
and Kerry are back in this.
What?
There's a crossover.
We've talked about this country on this podcast.
Have you not seen this country?
No, we have. Yeah, we've talked about it.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is, I think, one of
absolutely
the
loved
best comedies ever.
Well, funnily though, I watched the first 2 episodes of Am I Being Unreasonable and then forgot to watch the rest, but I now will go back, and I preferred that to this country.
Oh, this country I think is pure gold.
It's genius, isn't it?
It's genius. The same as that. We go back to that, and we go back to Motherland. So it's the other thing is Motherland as a family. All of us love it. From my dad, who's 90, to my younger daughter, who's 18. So we all love it. But also, then there's Amandaland, and episode 1 of Amandaland is fantastic with Sharon Horgan behind there, and Lucy Punch and Joanna Lumley. Oh, thank you very much.
It's a treat.
It's just wonderful.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
But I can't help it, but I watch like that. I just think, no, stop, don't, no, it's that. It's so embarrassing.
What's Curtin's name? Sorry, in real life, her brother?
Charlie.
So what's
Cooper.
Charlie doing in her new series? What's his role? Is he actually Curtin in it?
Charlie plays another character.
Yeah.
But there is a moment of a comedy crossover where Kerry and Curtin are in a scene.
Really? Okay, I'm going to have to watch it now.
You can't
have to watch it.
No,
so
I
I'm going to start season 1. I'm in.
Okay.
You've sold it to me.
It's fantastic.
Let's move from television then and branch out into podcasts, because you've got a very successful podcast. What do you listen to, though, on your way to recording or when you're running or walking? I mean, you're known for walking.
Well, do you know what? One of the things I do when I'm walking, and I apologise, but I believe no headphones, because I like taking in the moment, which is what
be
you're saying
present.
before, being very present. So I like, funnily enough, listening to birdsong, listening to people's conversations. I'm very, very nosy. And people do come up and talk to me, which I take as a huge compliment. You know, I've had people tell me very sad things and very happy things. They always tell me everything that's going on in their life. And I've had some really sad things. Actually, I talk about it in my book. I'm not plugging my book, but that's why...
Please do.
The paperback comes out later this year.
Yes.
But in the book, I talk about, a couple that came up and they told me something unbelievably sad. They were a much older couple. And I said to them that they wanted to tell me about something. And I said, you've got to look for the joy, the simple joys. And I got them jumping in the park. I think one of the things, because of the rise of social media, and I'm not knocking it because I use it and I enjoy it, and I think there's a really positive side. But I think, and because of working from home as well, a lot of people aren't interacting with each other. And people want to talk, and talking does make things better. So if people want to come up and talk to me, and I also ask people to talk to each other. So, if you are on a bus and somebody is on their own and not looking very happy, just ask if they're okay. I remember working with the charity and they said, it's the simple moment of just saying, how are you?
Yeah.
And actually waiting for the answer instead of saying, hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, how are you? And that, really just
That's
taking
a really
moment.
amazing thing. I think loads of people, more people than we know, and people closer to us than we'd think would be suffering, do actually suffer
also
with loneliness.
Being very open and talking about it,
Yeah.
and using the words. I talked to a book group of young people who were telling me exactly how, it had got very bad for all of them. And without saying, you know what I mean for all of them. There were 200 of them, and all of them had thought at one time about taking their life. And they had found each other, and they had realised that reading and discussing television, discussing books, talking to one another and listening when somebody says, I feel bad, and actually being able to say out loud, I feel lonely.
We should do Desert Island Binge, because
Desert
I
Island
feel
Binge.
that you, Gabby, are going to have some fantastic picks. No pressure, by the way. They
So
don't
this,
have to be fantastic.
As you know, is a completely original idea, copyrighted to Binge Podcast. We ask you to imagine you're on a desert island and you're allowed to take a book, a podcast, and a TV series or film.
Okay, please can I take When Harry Met Sally?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's my all-time favourite film, and I love it. It's my
Comfort
go-to.
watch?
Always. I was very lucky to be in the play of it as well, which was weird. And I
Were
also
you?
got to do that scene with Billy Crystal, face to face, with Lily Savage behind us saying, I'll have what she's having on The Big Breakfast.
You did it live on TV.
Did it live on television with
That
Billy
is
Crystal.
amazing.
What time was that in the morning?
It was
early.
7 till 9 we were on. God. But I just did, yes. It was, and Billy Crystal was everything I dreamt of him being and even more.
Brilliant.
Amazing.
Just love that
We've
film.
got to have that one then.
Yeah.
Okay. So When Harry Met Sally, what about a book?
I'm going to take EastEnders as well.
Oh, EastEnders.
It'd be weird.
Well, that would keep you going.
I think, EastEnders would be a good one because
But it would
obviously
be weird if I didn't take it.
It would,
Because
yeah.
I'd miss so many.
we'll allow you a film as well then.
Okay, EastEnders and When Harry Met Sally.
No, When Harry Met Sally, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you quickly on EastEnders, because it is coming up to the 40th
Yes.
anniversary. Favourite moment, duffs.
No, I told you can't choose one. I can't choose favourites.
See, I always think when
No, there's
Tiffany
so
leaves
many.
the square.
See, that's a good thing about being a drummer. In rehearsals, if someone announced something really dramatic, I just do the drum fill.
The duffs.
Do you know, shall I say something really weird about their drum fill? Simon May came on my Sunday afternoon radio show a few years ago, and he was at the piano, and I said to him, how many duffs are there? And he went,
Oh, wait.
oh, I don't know. And it was just that one of those moments. And he just sat there and went, can you believe I did that?
9.
And he played
There's
it.
9. Yeah, 9. I'm going to say 9.
Okay, good. We've sorted that out then. Excellent.
Right.
Those
Okay,
are the important things in life.
What book are you taking?
Oh, you can't.
You could take a series of books.
No, I want lots of books because I love books.
Just the one, please, Gabby.
Oh, no.
It can be just a lovely recommendation. I mean, there's no rules here.
Tuesdays with Morrie.
Hang on, I'm going to write it down. What was that?
Tuesdays with Morrie.
What's that about then?
The most beautiful, beautiful, life-changing book about living in the moment and about life.
So it's not a story, it's not a novel?
It's a conversation. A man goes and talks to an older man.
Oh, so Morrie's a man?
Yeah.
So let's circle back around then to podcast.
Obviously yours.
Or yours.
Or yours.
You don't choose your own podcast.
No, we can't. Yeah.
I'm going, you've mentioned her earlier and I love her and she's been on yours, Elizabeth Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So
How
can
to
I have,
fail.
I love Elizabeth. She's a friend of mine and I adore her. So I'm going to go for her. But there are other ones as well. But yes, I'm going for her.
Lots of good conversation there.
Really good conversation.
You could take that all. That would see you until the dinghy came.
Yeah.
On a desert island. Yeah.
Well,
Brilliant.
is there no zip wire there?
We could build one.
Could we?
I think,
We could
especially
build
for
one.
you.
Thank
I
you.
think,
A
Gabby,
massive one. Where you landed in the water.
Lovely.
To the duffs. Doof, 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 doof.
Oh, yes, please.
There you
thank you.
go. We've
I don't know if I
sorted
want
it
to
out.
land in the... That's the only bit. I don't want to land in the water.
It'd be really hot.
Could
You'd be glad.
No. I know. Could I land in a speedboat? Because I've also done... I love a speedboat. I love speed. So can I land in a speedboat and then go off on the speedboat?
Or maybe a jet ski. Because that's
No,
easy
no
to land.
speedboat.
But we need you to be stuck on the island, Gabby, so you can...
No, I'll go fast around the
Okay,
island.
fine. All right.
Okay.
You can have us. We're making lots of changes to the rules here for you, Gabby.
Thank
but
you very much.
That's fine. You have a zip line, a speedboat, and you can have the Elizabeth Day podcast.
Thank you very much.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Gabby.
Well, as predicted, Gabby was absolutely superb and a font of telly knowledge. Number one EastEnders fan ever.
She probably is, isn't
But
she?
she's never missed an episode. I don't think there's anybody in the UK who's never missed an episode.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And also some brilliant recommendations. My takeaway is Am I Being Unreasonable? Starring and written by Daisy May Cooper. So thanks for that one, Gabby.
Yeah, that's on BBC iPlayer. And I am going to order Tuesdays with Morrie, the book that she recommended.
I'll be seeing you on Wednesday, Al, because we are going to be on Therapy Crouch, which I'm looking forward to, but I have a sneaky suspicion that, like me, you're also looking forward to having a little sneak peek around their house.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, bonus points that they record in their house.
I know.
And I knew that you would be thinking the same. This is excellent. We get to see Abby and Peter Crouch's house.
Yes, but more importantly, talk about this podcast,
Yes,
because we want to spread the word, don't we?
but we're going to love it.
I can't wait.
Okay, brilliant. So I'll see you there. In the meantime, that is all we've got time for. Don't forget, though, always send your recommendations. Tell us what you're into right now. hello@bingepodcastofficial.com is the email for that.
Yeah, or you can WhatsApp us. The number is in the description, or you can leave us a voice note. Binge is a Viral Tribe entertainment production. And please rate us and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Join us next time as we help you sort the binge-worthy from the
Binge-worthy.
bye-bye.
Goodbye.